We've just had another busy week in European competitive Fortnite. We've had the last full week of tournaments in the Simpsons season. I'm going to recap all of them for you in this video so that you guys are up to date. Let's get straight into it. Let's start off by going back to last Tuesday when we had round 2 of the Solo Victory Cup. This tournament consists of 2 3-hour sessions that qualify you to an hour of Victory Cup games. Those are actually happening tonight, so you'll be hearing about those in my next video. Last Tuesday was the second round, and after 6 hours of opens, the Russian pro Halekis ended up on top. 1,000 players have qualified to finals. One of the favourites to win a game during that will be the French pro Kurama. It's no secret that Kurama's a really good solos player. He managed to get 4th across the 2 rounds of opens in EU, but honestly I don't think many people are surprised by that. What is hugely impressive is that he somehow did even better on NA Central, managing to come 2nd in opens. This is a really impressive achievement. To play that consistency on well over 120 ping is remarkable. As I always say, Kurama is one of those names that you're never surprised to see doing well on NA Central. People like Scroll, Zany, Velo and King Cringe, these are the kind of names that we see cropping up constantly on other regions. So massive credit to Kurama. I'm fully expecting him to get at least 1 win on both regions. There is another EU player though that achieved something very unique during this tournament. Turtle, the Romanian pro, managed to qualify for 7 out of 7 of the finals, qualifying on every single region. I mean, obviously this is insanely impressive. The consistency to play for that long and maintain quality is astounding. I have no idea what compels somebody to play every single region. He's probably on like 300 ping on OCE, so I can't really see him winning a game. If he proves me wrong, then fair play. This honestly has surprised me. I didn't think anyone was even capable of doing this, so fair play to him. I hope he gets a win in a couple of the regions just to make it worthwhile though. Now let's move on to Wednesday when we have the Duo Evaluation Cup. We ended up having some big teams do well in this tournament. iDrop and Marius managed 2 wins in the 2nd place. This is a duo that haven't looked amazing since they formed. This is probably the first time that I've seen them play and thought they look good. They look as good as they could be on paper. So maybe this is a sign of things to come. Maybe they'll be a good duo in 2026. The Italian team of Ricky and Zangi also won a game, and this definitely won't be the last time you hear those names in this video. Darkos and Minori also won a game. They're a team that I don't know too much about, but fair play to them. I also have to include this clip from Vico. He was contested during this tournament by 8su and Repairs at Springfield Slurpworks, and watch what happens when they win off spawn.
Put box on him now.
Yeah, I'm kidding you. Oh my
No,
god.
what are you doing?
Wait, 160? 190?
I saw that clip live, the timing was just perfect on it. But moving over to NA Central, we did have an EU team win a game. Werex and Nosif, the French players, managing to win a game on NA Central. It's definitely a theme in this video that EU teams are performing well in America, and Werex and Nosif won't be the final example of that. Moving on to Thursday, we had round 2 of the PlayStation Reload Cup. Now the reason why I'm talking about this is because the finals have 8k for the winner, so that's 4k for each player because it's duos. So technically this is one of, if not the most important tournament this season. Absolutely no prizes for guessing who won round 2 and qualified for finals. Akiira and Kurama managed 3 second places, a 4th and a 6th to book their spot in Tuesday's final round. Another team that have had some great placements lately also managed to qualify. Shark and Teeny finished in 2nd. Honestly, not a huge amount of other notable pros qualified for the finals, which I think is good. These PlayStation Cups are designed for underrated players, especially underrated controller players, and I'm glad they're probably going to get some earnings. I will just quickly run through some of the notable teams that did make it. We had Ricky and Zangi, Pixovsky and Zynox, Chap and Flixie. We had the Spanish duo of Sayaz and Scary Sean. Ping and Malibuka made it, as did Scroll and Zany. King Cringe and Velo came in 21st and were 1 point off qualification. I'm actually really excited to see how this tournament plays out. We haven't had too many high stakes set lobby reload tournaments, so this could be really interesting, and I will be covering this in a video later this week. And before we move on, this tournament also took place on NA Central, and we had 4 EU duos qualify. Ricky and Zangi and Pixovsky and Zynox, who also qualified to EU, made it on NA Central, as well as Cringe and Noms and Hedra and Shadox. Now on to Friday, let's talk about the other Reload Cup. 3 teams managed to earn in the finals of this, as it is a Victory Cup format. We had Chino and Pablo Wingu win a game, iDrop and Pixie, and Ping and Malibuka. So this was definitely a tournament where the big names did well. In the off season, that's not always the case, but maybe these guys are locking in ready for FNCS next year. Also, shout out to AzatGo and iFrozy, the Russian duo who agonizingly managed 2 second places in this tournament. Over on NA Central, you guessed it, we saw EU players having success. Khan and Shadow actually managed to win a game, and Queasy won a game with Victor V. I know Queasy's obviously in Dallas, but he's still an EU pro, so it counts in my book. Now let's get into the main tournaments, the Victory Cups. We'll start with Saturday's Duo Victory Cup. We had 4 teams manage 2 wins on the EU. One of them, again, really no prizes for guessing this, but Akiira and Kurama, who would have thought they'd do well in the Victory Cup format? They just keep on doing well, keep on earning money. I'm running out of things to say about them. Chap and Jew also managed 2 wins, as did Twek and Mydro, as well as Caden and Nova, a team that I don't know too much about. Before I talk about NA Central, let's go over some team updates that we learned from this tournament. It appears that Panzer and Mustache have split as a duo. Panzer has tweeted that he's looking for a new teammate for Chapter 7. Panzer ended up playing this Victory Cup with Malabuka. They were a duo previously until Malabuka decided to play with Vico instead. Vico and Mustache both didn't play with anyone for this tournament. As of right now, it seems like Vico and Malabuka is the real duo as opposed to Panzer and Malabuka, but until we get to FNCS, we can't say for sure. We also saw Fredoxy play with Zany. He's been playing with Tayson for the last few weeks, whilst he's been on break from Pablo Wingu, but Tayson didn't play this tournament, so he ended up playing with Zany. I already mentioned Zany in this video. He's one of those names that I've been seeing at the top of leaderboards a lot more. I'm really excited to see who his permanent duo will be in 2026, because I could see him placing quite well. We had 2 EU teams earn on NA Central. Hedger and Shadox won a game, as did Scary Sean and Plox Lucky. Now of course I had to save the best tournament for last. Let's talk about yesterday's Squad Victory Cup. We actually had a team in EU manage 2 out of 3 wins. That was the Swedish squad of iDrop, Pixie, Zabi and Sadie. Fair play to them. Now that's very impressive, but one team actually managed to go a step further by winning 3 out of 3 of their games, and that was Haris, Skavi, Tiddy and Faded Pigeon. Huge credit to them. Now obviously this was the last squad tournament of the season, so the new duos don't matter, but I thought I'd run over some of them anyway just for a bit of fun. We saw Vico, Chap and Swizzy play with Focus instead of Mustache. Wox, Roban, Kiro and Waze teamed up, as did Cade, Velo, Pixovsky and Zynox. We also saw an all-Danish squad of Sky, Scroll, Sangild and Winther. Mongrel was back with Mix and Giras and Franek, but they couldn't manage a win. Savage, Yapko and Seti didn't play with Panzer as their 4th, instead they picked up Motor, but they didn't manage to qualify for the 2nd round, so they didn't earn any money. We also had a very unlikely name win not just 1, but 2 games in this tournament. If you follow the competitive Fortnite scene, then BloodX needs no introduction. He's coached a huge amount of players in his career, most famously Mongrel, Savage and Clix. He managed to secure his first earnings since he retired as a pro many years ago. He won a game on EU with Turtle, Isma and Noxy, and then later won a game on NA Central where Noxy was swapped out for Prom. Moving over to NA Central, we saw some fun squads playing for the last week. We had Mr. Savage playing with Clix, Higgs and Oliver OG, whilst Veno played with Faxity, Booga and Donny. Unfortunately, neither of those squads managed to win, but I think the content made up for it. Outside of BloodX, we had a few other European teams earn on NA Central. Nebs, Wox, Kiro and Waze won a game, as did Jack, Griff, Dens and Luca, as well as Zortex, Sino, Rigby and Lila West. So there we have it, a recap of every tournament from the last week. In my next video I'll talk about the Solo Victory Cup finals, the PlayStation Reload finals, as well as my Chapter 7 wish list. Leave a comment below if you enjoyed the video. Do you watch these tournaments? Did you enjoy them? Which players impressed you? I want to hear what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you in the next one.